Hello and welcome back to Roads Yet Traveled. We'll be continuing where we left off, which should be day 3, I think. Um, in the previous episode, we spent a little time with Rhoun, I believe, and he was keeping us company in lieu of the doctor being available. And we had a nice little brief conversation where he asked us to draw like an engine and some sort of complex things in order to try to communicate with the whiteboard, but unfortunately that didn't work out that well. But regardless, we still had a brief I guess you can't really say that it's a conversation because it's more him talking to you without you being able to respond, but yeah. He seems nice, if a bit in the clouds. And eventually, though, we ended up having a weird moment with Maruk, but it's like he can't decide whether he likes you or not. But he is of the mind that you really are just sort of, normal. There isn't really anything special about you except for the fact that you're a human, you know? And yeah. So I guess he's not mad that you're on the space station. He's not afraid of you because you're an alien. It's just sort of like, why are we all sort of wasting our time on this guy? He's just a normal thing. He's not what is it, a Karain or however you pronounce it, but that's about as far as it goes with him being special. And then we had a little conversation with the doc at the end where he actually brought you other food except, aside from oatmeal. And the human was happy for that. So I guess things are getting a teeny bit better for the human. But we'll have to see if, when the AI is, you know, done, if that changes anything. Anyways, well, let's continue and see what happens. It's dark, but I'm no longer surprised by that. I'm sure now that the days are longer here, and yet I feel like I've slept less. Or maybe just worse. It's probably the stress. At least the food hasn't caused me to act up again. Yet. I would really like something for breakfast other than porridge. But that'll have to come later. Something catches my eye, though, as I start to rouse more. It seems Maruk decided to leave the window working today. Or he just forgot to put it down. Gently creeping over to the wall, I can see that he's still lying on the bench. Guess someone has to keep watch. Not that he's keeping watch now, though, on account of being asleep and all. I still feel kind of bad. All he has is a pillow that can't be comfy. After going through my morning routine of pointlessly pacing and trying to wash up using the sink, I decide to just sit at my desk and watch him. He twitches and moves back and forth as much as he can considering his bed. His ears twitch in reaction to unknown sounds. I don't hear anything, but I'm sure that he probably has better hearing than me. Seems like we still have a few good marks before any action happens today. So I decide to just get as comfy as I can and watch the outside of my cell for all the entertainment it's worth. I feel a little silly watching Maruk sleep. But considering I'm on the camera right now, and that they've been watching me from the other side of the wall these past few days, I don't feel too bad. Anyways, it's a good opportunity to learn something about them as a species. Maybe. I at least have a good look at the markings on his jacket now. Definitely illegible. Uh, Time moves at a snail's pace and I find myself trying to do anything else to entertain myself. But it's still too dark to really write or read without straining my eyes. I'd ask for a lamp, but I don't see any outlets anywhere. I doubt that I could even read anything on my phone if I got that back, either. I don't think I had anything downloaded. Maybe some shitty games, but that'd be it. For now, I guess my best entertainment is watching my warden sleep. After what feels like another mark, the lights come on a rather dramatic fashion. I notice the first at the end of the hallway out of the corner of my eye, and then another and another in a procession of illumination. As the lights closest to us come on, I notice Maruk twitching as he tries to roll over. He rolls a bit too far, and his arm flops over and off the edge, signaling the end. With his weight poorly distributed, he starts rolling off the bench until... thud. He rolls right onto the floor. Fortunately, it looks like his head was a bit onto the side, so at least his nose didn't get scrunched, but that's still gonna hurt. He wakes up startled, pushing himself up just enough so that he's not fully on the floor. What happened? Who's there? He shakes his head and rubs his muzzle, propping himself up a bit so that he can finally look around. Ugh, fuck, that hurt. Still dazed, we make eye contact, and he looks just stunned. I have to bring my head to my mouth so as not to completely lose it, but it does little to abate my laughter. Oh man, are you okay? I can't help it. That's one of the dumbest things that I've ever seen being here, and I'll be damned if it wasn't funny. His expression quickly changes from shock to anger as he tries to rise up to his full, intimidating height. Hey, watch it! Unfortunately for him, it seems that he still hasn't woken up yet fully, as when he tries to stand up, he ends up tripping over himself and falling again. Far more controlled this time, at least, as he manages to catch himself before colliding with the ground fully this time. No way. Are you okay? I can't see his face for a second as he stares at the floor until he turns to me. His expression of anger gone, all that's left is a snarling mess. That mysterious blue glow pierces my being as I step back. My heart rate drops, and I find myself no longer laughing, but instead worried. For him and for myself. After what feels like a minute of unbroken eye contact, he turns away and stands himself up fully, taking extra care to not fall again. I can't see his face, but I'm worried any second he'll pull a heel and turn and lay it into me. The second drags on as I stare at his back until I see it gently rise and fall. He turns over his shoulder to meet my eyes. His expression is inscrutable, perhaps seeing how worried I looked, or for some other unknowable reason. A small smirk appears on his muzzle and he gently scoffs. Before dusting himself off and sitting on his bench again, pulling up whatever it is he looks at on his monitor. More reports, maybe? No, that won't do. I can't just leave that how that ended. I knock on the glass to get his attention. Hey, are you okay? You took a big fall there. I know he can't understand me, but I'd feel better asking than not and just leaving him. I can see from here that he's got a decent scratch on his muzzle. Just enough to draw blood through his dark fur. I wonder if they are harder to cut with all that fur. No, now is not the time to worry about that. I'm sorry for laughing, but are you okay? He sighs again, clearly upset that I caught his morning rituals of eating shit and pretending like it didn't happen, swiping away what he was looking at and standing up again to meet me fully. What? I haven't even checked my notices or done my morning stretches. What could you possibly want this early in the morning? This early in the morning? I don't think waking up when the lights come on counts as early, but okay. I gesture to my face in the mirrored locations to where his scratches are in a vain attempt to keep a conversation going. Despite laughing at him, I am genuinely a bit worried that he's trying to pretend not to be hurt just to intimidate me. I'd be a bit more intimidated if he just yelled or bared his teeth than him trying to act tough. He brings a paw up to his lips and wipes away some of the blood, inspecting it between his paw pads. After what he deems as enough of an inspection, he rubs it off on his pants and looks back to me. It's nothing. I'm fine. I'm very unconvinced, but I can't tell him to take care of himself. Not yet, at least. I just make a face and pout, unsure if this has any real meaning to him. Though I am surprised by how many facial expressions, and little things like that, I have in common with this species, especially considering that they have tails and far more expressive ears. I bet that they have more developed facial muscles than dogs, which might do it. I find myself once again pondering deeply important ideas at the worst times as Maruk seems to just be staring at me. Sorry, what? Maruk takes a deep breath before pinching the bridge of his nose. I may have just upset him again. But what he does next surprises me, as he takes a knee to get a bit more eye level with me. Still looking a bit ticked off, he takes another deep breath. I'm fine. We just stare at each other for a few strained seconds. I know I shouldn't even care, but I do. And I can't help it. If he says he's fine, then he's fine. That's all I can do. But I know I've been fine in the past as well. Maybe I'll just tell Doc to check up on him later. I just nod at him. Okay. He takes a second before nodding back and going back to his little area. I return to my desk and continue watching him as he begins his morning routine, in full this time. He's very Lilith compared to the other Karain I've met. I wonder if that's due to his breed? Or another factor. He's quite flexible too, able to fully stretch out his back and touch his toes. Not that that's a feat that would be particularly unique to them as a species. I've just never been able to pull it off myself. Makes me wonder if I should be trying to work out here as well. I've always seen that in movies, prisoners doing pull-ups with the cell bars. But there are no bars here to speak of. Also, I can't shower right now, so the idea of sweating sounds dreadful. Well, more than I already have. God, I want to burn these clothes. Ugh. I can't imagine Maruk is really getting the exercise he would want while being trapped here with me. But it does say something about him that he's trying despite it all. I wonder how much he has to work out to keep up his impressive form. Even with said impressive body, I'm still unsure if he is stronger than Doc, considering how big Doc is. But his muscles are definitely more pronounced due to his shorter fur. After he finishes his morning stretches, he turns around to take a seat and notices that I've been watching him the whole time. You gonna watch me when I sleep and work out? Give me a damn break. Sorry. He's right, I probably seem like a creep right now. Then again, it's only fair. Still, I turn away, my face feeling a bit flushed. That was embarrassing. With nothing better to do until breakfast, I decide to continue writing down some scattered thoughts while I have time today. It ends up being a lesson in futility, as I don't really have much new to add to my journal. With my notes rewritten and a bit more organized, I've truly run out of things to do. And with limited paper, I don't want to waste any more notebook space just to be safe. Looking over to Maruk, it seems that even he is bored, as he's lying on his back just swiping away at some projected monitor. The monitor's monitor. Fortunately, as if to save us from our boredom, the door down the hall opens. Maruk's ears flick up as he notices it, and he stands to attention, dusting himself off. I far less eloquently just press myself up against the glass to try and get a better look outside. Before I have a chance to see who it is coming in, Maruk gets my attention. He almost looks worried. What's going on? Stand back, is the last thing that I hear as the wall comes back down. Hey, wait! I slam a balled fist against the wall to no avail. Is someone coming to see me? Why would they close the wall then? So I don't see them? And what did Maruk mean? Well, I might as well try to get on his good side. I decide by my bed is far enough, just standing and waiting for something to happen. Is something supposed to happen? When nothing does, I'm a bit confused. I can't even hear anything from the other side of the wall. This persists for upwards of 10 minutes as I just loaf around and lay on my bed. I was enjoying having the wall down too. Laying in bed is doing me no favors though, as I am worried of falling asleep again. I really need to try and stay awake the whole day. No idea if I can sleep through the whole night though. It's probably what, like 15 or 16 marks? Ugh. In an attempt to wake up a bit, I splash some water on my face. Ahem. What? I turn to see that the wall is down. But instead of Maruk standing there, it's Doc and the Chief. I offer a friendly wave to which only Marrow half-heartedly replies. Good morning, Tyr. Doc. Hello, Tucker. Always endearing hearing your one-sided attempts at communication. That felt a bit rude. I wasn't expecting that from the Chief. Maybe Maruk, but not Tyr. I have simply stopped by to report that the learning AI should be completed sometime tomorrow. Sorry for the delay, but configuring a neural to interpret language through the conversation alone is not easy. And with the recent authorization from the captain, your 3 elected guardians will be able to download it, and hopefully we can get right to work. Oh, that sounds great. I can't believe he's apologizing for taking a long time when he's had to translate a whole alien species. Or at least I think that's what he's done. I guess I'll find out tomorrow. Thanks, Tyr. Sounds great. Now, I must also say that you being here has... how do I put this? He takes a moment to think before conferring something with Marowyn. Ahem. Your presence here is, unfortunately, putting unexpected stress on the function of the station. Word of you is still not particularly widespread. But where it has spread, it has done nothing but slow down work and agitate the crew. It is due to the goodwill of the captain that you have not been placed in a more strict setting. She is surprisingly willing to put her faith in you. That is not something that she does lightly. So be on your best behavior, please. Thanks? I have no idea what that means. I guess my presence here might be more of an issue than they previously thought. I mean, I am an alien. But everyone I've met so far has taken it really well. Surprisingly well, actually. Maybe that's not the norm around here. I'm sorry for that rather grim message. But the captain has made it very clear that the mission of the station takes priority. I'm sure you'll be fine. Marrow decides to pipe in. Maybe realizing that Tyr is freaking me out a bit. He offers a small smile before noticing Tyr is already trying to head out. Baruch will be back in a mark or two. He has a meeting he has to attend. And we must be on our way as well. I do wish you the best, really. I'll see you tomorrow when you hopefully can introduce yourself properly. Marrow stays behind for a minute and turns to me, meeting me with solemn, almost worried eyes. The captain does mean well, truly. But she has to look out for everyone here. Not just me or you. But she will look out for you if she can. And if she can't, I will. I promise. And with that, he turns to catch up to Tyr. Sir, please, wait up! He leaves before I can even utter. Thank you. It seems that there is a lot going on beyond these walls. So much so that I might not even be the most important thing going on here. What a tangled web I found myself in. Best just take it one thing at a time. I can't worry myself over what lies beyond the door for now. It seems like tomorrow a lot of things will be cleared up. Or maybe more confusing. But I'm hopeful nonetheless. It is awfully lonely without anyone here though. And with nothing to do, I just find myself pacing and making outlandish ideas about what's going on. Are they just waiting to experiment on me or something? what could possibly be more interesting than finding an alien? And a sentient one at that. Who is this captain anyways, and why is she so mysterious? Ugh. All these dumb thoughts might be causing me to freak out more, which is not what I need right now. I try to take a few breaths to calm down. I don't know any actual breathing techniques, so I kinda just end up taking a few deep breaths and move on, pretending nothing happened. None of this posturing changes the fact that I'm bored and alone, though. Looking around, it seems that they are confident enough that I will not escape. And, though probably right, as I don't even know how anyone could get out of here without a monitor. With truly nothing to do, I resign myself to daydreaming and waiting. Tomorrow can't come soon enough. After almost falling asleep for the second time, I'm startled out of my drowsiness by the sound of the door opening. Finally. I guess Maruk finished whatever meeting he was in. Hello, The Karain that turns the corner, however, is not Maruk, but in fact, Rhoun. I guess he's free again today. Hi there, Bud? Remember me? Rhoun, we met yesterday. Kinda. Smiling and stifling a small laugh, I reply. Yes, Rhoun, I remember you. How are you doing today? He gives me a small smile before looking around. I realize he's brought me some food today. I wonder if they are coordinating who has time to bring me my meals. I hope he knows about my allergies. I thought of... Lieutenant Maruk would be here to open the door. I don't really know how to get it in to give you your food. He looks around the corner closest to the wall and spots something. Hold on, I think I can fix this. He puts the tray down and walks out of sight, a bit messing with something on the wall. I can't see what he's doing, but I can see a faint blue light emanating from over there. I wonder if he's hacking the wall or something. Is that something that you can do? It sounds ridiculous. Can you hack a wall? I mean, it seems to be controlled through Maruk's monitor, so maybe. But there was that time Marrow got in without Maruk's help, so I don't know. After hearing what can only be described as a power tool of some kind, I'm definitely very curious to see what is going on over there, but with no real way to see, I can't be sure. I lean as far as I can on the window to try to get a closer look, but then suddenly... thud. The wall falls away, and me along with it. Ugh. I collide with the floor with a resounding thud. Ow! Damn it! Warn me next time, please. Oh, wow! I can hear you much better. Did it work? Rhoun sticks his head around the corner and I can see instantly his expression goes from excited to worried. What's wrong? It's not my fault that I fell outside my cell. Oh. I'm outside my cell. This is certainly awkward. Hey? Please get back inside your, Oh dear. The poor guy looks petrified. I think he might be shaking a bit too. Still, I'm of two minds right now. Part of me is saying, oh, of course I'll get back in my cell. Tomorrow you'll be able to talk to me, and it will all be okay. But there's a part of me, a small, deep, profoundly scared and utterly human part that is only saying one thing. Run. I stand stuck, unable to move and unable to make a decision. My eyes flitting back and forth between Rhoun and the door behind him. I finally seen it for the first time. But I know it is no real exit. Rhoun is looking back at me, just as worried as I am. Probably more so. His arm glowing a bright blue. Cords coming out of his wrist and into a panel on the wall. It's not worth it. Sorry, Rhoun, I fell is all. I didn't mean to scare you. Taking my food tray and walking back inside. I realize as I do that Rhoun might have been too effective at what he was trying to do. He didn't just remove the door part of the wall, but the whole wall. There's no glass, no nothing. For his sake, I hope that he can fix it. He slowly turns the corner and sees me on my bed, enjoying what he brought for me. Thank you. He tries to lean against a wall but realizes that there is no wall and manages to catch himself before he falls. What? Why did that? Oh no, wait. He walks up and down the length of my cell, grasping at the air to try to find the wall that isn't there. He of course finds nothing. Oh my, let me see if I can fix this. I should have access now. He pulls up his monitor from his arm, a feat that may never not impress me, and flicks through a few screens. In a worryingly short procession, the wall rebuilds itself, turns to glass, opens its door, then closes its door, then changes back to glass. I can see Rhoun standing on the other side looking stunned. I guess this might be beyond his purview. He continues to fiddle around with his monitor, and I just enjoy my lunch watching him. There's also a wrapped up burger thing on my tray. I really hope that he didn't bring that for himself and forgot about it. I better not touch it to be safe. After a few good minutes, he seems to have a better control of the wall now, going so far as to even repair the box he opened to get access to it. I can see that he's also looking around for something. Hey, you wouldn't happen to have seen a small wrapped, parcel anywhere, would you? Wrapped in foil and kinda warm? Laughing a bit, I walk over to the wall and hold up his lunch. Oh, thanks. I must have misplaced it. Again. He reaches to grab it and once again finds himself bumping into an invisible force. Oh, right. Not used to all these security measures. Sorry. Let me just grab that. He fiddles with his arm for a second and the door opens. Actually, I notice all of the wall is gone again. But I try not to point it out. I guess he's still getting the hang of the interface. He unwraps his parcel, and it looks similar to what Maruk had in the past. Some kind of burger or a sandwich. After looking around the room, it seems that he decides that the best place to sit was the floor, so he just takes a seat. Huh. If you can't beat him, join him. I collect my tray and move over to sit next to him. He looks up and shyly offers a small, nervous grin. Hey there, bud. I hope I got what you wanted. Dr. Merowyn said that I had to be really specific as to make sure not to make you sick. I hope I did it right. It all looks good for me, bud. He just stares at me for a bit. I know he can't understand me, but I understand him even less. Well, I can understand him fine. But trying to stare into and beyond his eyes? I can't tell what's going on in there. Not that I'm complaining, as he's been nothing but kind so far. Without breaking eye contact, he takes a bite of his burger. It seems that the bread is a dense, crumbly material, and the meat has some hints of oil coming out of it. But of what kind, I could not say. Definitely not like something you'd find back home. Noticing me staring at his lunch, he pipes up. You have something like this? I mean, where you are from? It seems like a burger, albeit with some liberties taken. So I gesture, kind of, the best I can. I think he gets what I mean. They're not too hard to make. Well, I don't know how to make the buns. But the cooking I can do. I don't know if you know what that is. Wait. Of course you do. Sorry. Do you have other foods back home? Different foods? I nod. Yeah, we have plenty of different kinds of foods. Lots of cultures and such. He just nods in response, clearly not understanding what I am saying, but still being polite nonetheless. Do you have a favorite? Favorite food, that is? Mine is this. How do I explain it? It's the selection of thinly cut meats and sauce. It's belly cut? Stomach? He gestures to his own gut to make sure that I get the point. Is that weird? Sorry, I don't know. Anyways, it's really nice and savory. But it's hard to find. No one here cooks it, and it's too fancy for me to try and cook it myself. Sounds like he has a surprisingly expensive taste. Well, maybe something like this he described would be considered decently fancy back home. I think. Alright, he did ask me for my favorite. Well, probably like curry. Any kind really, but I don't know how to explain that concept to him. Oh. I get up and walk over to the desk, grabbing the whiteboard. Rhoun watches me as I move back and forth, nibbling on his burger the whole time. I try to draw out something that looks like curry. It's hard to draw grains of rice with a big marker, and halfway through I realize that I should probably just imply the rice is there. But oh well. Here you go. My favorite is curry. It's like a rice dish with sauce and meat or vegetables. Holding it up for Rhoun, I see he leans in to get a better look. He tilts his head from side to side to try to take in the breadth of my fantastic art. But as a result, his ears flop this way and that. It's far cuter than I could ever imagine, and I have to stop myself from laughing at it. Fortunately, I think he's too engrossed in my drawing to notice. I think we have something like that. It's called, sorry, I've never actually ordered it, and I forgot what it's called. But it's like a grain dish with sauce on top? Is that right? Oh, wow, yeah. That's pretty much it. He may not be able to understand me, but he can understand my enthusiasm. Oh, that's so cool. You have something similar then. I will let the doc know. Maybe he can figure out if you can have some. He pulls up his monitor and types away at a small pop-up keyboard. It seems reasonable to expect them to have some form of direct messaging system. Maruk mentioned checking his notices, so I can only assume that they can send emails or texts over the monitor. I mean, it'd be a total waste not to have that feature. Oh, he already got back to me. Let's see. Sounds good. Let our guest know that I will look into it. By the way, tomorrow is the day that Chief finishes the learner. Also, can you come look at one of the lights in my lab? I think it's breaking. Well, that all seems good. Except that light. I should fix that probably. Oh, but that learning thing will be done tomorrow. I've never used one, so I hope it works. But I trust the Chief. He's really smart, so I'm sure that it will be fine. I hope it doesn't take too long. I need to get back to Milo about those pipes in the physics department and... He continues to mumble to himself about work for a while, and I just let him as I finish up my lunch. Nothing more than a salad and a bowl of porridge, but still it's something. After a while, his eyes pop up and meet mine. He looks a bit shocked to realize that he's been zoning out. I've been there before. Oh, sorry. What were we talking about? I need to schedule things better. It's okay, Rhoun. So, did you like your meal? It seemed a bit, lacking. Sorry. Most people around here prefer something heartier or, well, just more than that. I think the worker at the cafeteria thought that I was gonna starve when I only ordered this much, and said that it was for 2 people. I guess appetites are pretty big around here. Makes sense considering the size of these cranes. That being said, I haven't seen Maruk eating too much, and I haven't seen Doc eat anything. Yes, thank you. It was just enough. Hopefully, they can't tell I'm lying. I'd love to have more, but for now it's enough. Oh, I'm glad. The cafeteria was so busy today that I almost considered trying to make something for you myself. Sorry. Is that weird? I just normally end up cooking for myself. Nothing fancy, just like toast. Wow. A man after my own heart. I do hope that he finds time to eat, though. He seems awfully busy. I don't have much in my quarters to cook with, but sometimes I can get into the kitchens and cook something up. They usually aren't too crowded. That sounds nice, Rhoun. I'd love some toast. I let out a small laugh and he replies in kind. There are a lot of places on the station that can feel so busy. Like the cafeteria. It's weird being here where there is just no one. Well, I mean, you understand. I'm curious how big this place is and just how many Karain are here. It seems like quite the big operation. It would certainly explain why the captain and Tyr are worried. It's usually not so bad though. If it ever gets too much, there's always somewhere that's nice and quiet. I think the library is pretty neat. Only the executives have access to it, but since I'm technically the head of maintenance now, I guess I count. At least when I go in, no one asks me to leave. Oh, but you can see it too. I know you like reading too. Oh, thanks, Rhoun. That sounds nice. Although I'm sure if I will be able to read any of their stories or anything written by them for that matter. And wait, what did he mean by now? Was he just promoted? Guess I'll ask. I often find myself too busy to really go, and enjoy some of the facilities around here though. Although, I can confidently say that I've been to all of them, if only to fix something sometime or another. Always a light out or a door not working. It's nice to see the others enjoying them though. Maybe you can take me to some of them? Anything is more interesting than being stuck here. Yeah. There's no way that he understood me. But that was a verbal agreement and I'm holding him to it. He'll just have to learn about that later though. Sorry. I know I'm supposed to just talk and stuff, but I feel bad just talking at you. I hope I'm not bothering you. No, it's fine really. This is one of the longest conversations I've had in a while. Well, let's see what else is there. There's literally a whole system for me to learn about. I'm sure whatever he brings up will be interesting enough. Oh, do you have... The door down the hall opens. I hear measured steps coming down the hall. Rhoun turns to look and his smile wavers. Hello, Lieutenant Maruk. Maruk stops in front of the cells to inspect what is going on. His eyes taking in every last aspect of our meeting. Whether he deems it acceptable or not, I could not tell as he simply scoffs, rolls his eyes, and walks to his bench. Not even a hello wasted on us. Rhoun looks a bit out of it. I can't blame him, really. I gently tap on the glass to try and snap him out of it. Our eyes meet and he offers me a small but fleeting smile. So, what was I saying? Oh, right. Do you have, things you like to do at home? Besides read? Oh yeah, sure, I enjoy being out in nature, hiking and stuff. Playing games? Board games mainly, but video games are fine. You can't understand me at all right now. I could say anything. How soft are you? Who is the captain? Why is Maruk such an ass? Shit, wait. I realized my fault a bit too late. As well, they can't understand me. They can probably understand when I say their names. Taking a careful glance in his direction proves me right, as I'm met with a confused stare. He seems to be peeking over his monitor screen at me. I'd say that I should be more careful with what I say, but tomorrow, it might not matter at all. Actually, it might matter even more than... Maybe you can draw it for me? Sorry, I... Can't understand me, I get it. Erasing my last drawing with my hand, I get to work trying to illustrate what few hobbies I have. If you can even call them that. Maybe I'll pick up something new around here. Drawing both of these is difficult, as I realize that I have no idea how to draw hiking, and any board game I draw could be easily different from anything here. I decide to just draw what came to mind, and hope for the best. Holding up the board, Rhoun seems far more confused this time, unable to understand either concept through my crude pictographs. You like, rocks? Walking on rocks? I think we have a geology department here somewhere. And, this one... Is that a graph? It looks like a chessboard. I almost dropped my board as I flinched backwards. Maruk had silently walked over to the window without either of us noticing. Rhoun seems to have almost fallen over, catching himself with his prosthetic. And what did you call this other one? Walking on rocks? He's clearly trying to draw rock climbing. Or something. Yeah. Maybe you're right. Rhoun averts his gaze to the floor and stays quiet while Maruk looms overhead. A terrible silence permeates the room. Yeah, it's a rock climbing, sure thing, Maruk. Can you stop scaring Rhoun now? I'll assume you were just agreeing with me. Afraid that you won't find much to climb here. You're gonna have to find something else to entertain yourself with if they let you out of here. If? What does that mean? They're gonna let me out of here once the learning AI works. Right? You could always try to play Chisk by yourself. Though, I can't imagine that's very interesting. I'd play. What was that? Nothing. Just... I'd play Chisk with them. If they wanted. Sure. And who's going to let you into their cell? I guess you would? Ha, no. No, I would not. Rhoun looks away and mumbles something. Did you say something? Uh-huh. The painful silence creeps back into the room. I'm unsure if it's a reprieve from that pointed conversation or a harbinger of things to come. Eventually, though, as if seemingly bored with the conversation, Maruk rolls his eyes and walks over a few paces to lean against the wall and continues his work, whatever that may be. I pout at him angrily, but he either doesn't see me or doesn't care. I consider waking Rhoun, but I decide to give him a moment instead. Eventually, he perks up a bit and looks back at me. Oh, I don't actually know how to play Chisk. But I'm sure it'd be nice to learn. I don't have much time for games, but sometimes I play some with my crew. That sounds nice. Maybe sometime when I get out of here, we can, figure that out. Maybe I can meet your crew too. He still seems pretty skittish all of a sudden. I don't know what bad blood these two have, but it's starting to piss me off. Well, it's either bad blood or Maruk is just like this with everyone. Which is also possible. Rhoun seems to see something that I don't, and he pulls up his monitor and starts to flip through some screens. Maybe he got a message? How can he tell if his phone is in his arm? I wonder if it buzzes. That would be annoying. Feeling a bit left out of, as both of the canines are essentially on their phones ignoring me, I decide to speak up. Ahem. Fortunately, only Rhoun acknowledges me. Sorry. I got a notification from one of my crew. One of my best one of my friends. He's wondering where I am. I forgot a message that I would be busy again today. Ah, right. Everyone has jobs that they have to keep up with, along with taking care of me. Shit. They have their own lives too. Maybe I should be more careful about that. Well, maybe when they let me out of the cell. It's fine, really. He types a short message to his friend and chuckles to himself. They're a good group of workers, but sometimes they can get a bit lost. Just last week, I had to help Milo out of a vent he got lost in. Sometimes this place feels like a maze even to me. I also need to message Kes about working late tonight to fix those lights in Doc's office. I'm sure they won't mind. I wonder how big his team is. If this place is as big as I think it might be, being kind of massive, he probably needs a pretty big team then. I hope I get to meet them. Rhoun. How did Tucker get their food delivered to them? What do you mean? I gave it to them. How? Let me explain this so even you can understand it. The cell door was closed when I left. Doc surely didn't leave it open. So how did you open the cell when you were not given clearance? I do have clearance? No, you don't. Don't make me check the cameras. I interfaced with the control panel and gave myself clearance. Dr. Merowyn told me to, bring lunch for him. And when you weren't, here, I got worried, so I just thought that made sense so that they didn't get hungry is all. Let me make sure that I understand this. You came in here without a warden, took immediate action to lower the cell while a prisoner was inside, and endangered yourself and the rest of the crew by making contact with said prisoner. No. No, I just opened the door to give them lunch is all. They were only out of their cell for a few seconds. They were what? Don't make me look it up, damn it. What happened? Rhoun doesn't look great. I'm worried that he's about to have a panic attack or something. But I don't know what I can do for him from here. I just wanted to help them, is all, Maruk. Looming over Rhoun, Maruk certainly has an intimidating aura about him. I stand up to try and get between them as best I can, which isn't much as I'm still trapped behind 4 inches of glass. Maruk looks furious, but more so than anything, he just looks tired. The anger quickly replaced with apathy as he brings himself in. I'm reporting this to Chief Seno. Get out before I throw you in one of these cells myself. Rhoun is breathing heavily, eyes blurry and defocused. He manages to pull himself up and head for the door, not even managing to give me a final look or parting wave. And go to medical immediately. Get decontaminated and checked up, damn it. Go to Doc, not the emergency team. Ugh. Just what I needed, more fucking reports to file. I hear a sheepish, "Yes, sir," which is cut off by the door closing. I furiously glare at Maruk, trying to penetrate his very being with my rage. It doesn't take long for him to turn to me, finally acknowledging that I exist, as I try to stand as intimidating as I possibly can. I was never particularly tall, only being around 5'7", but around all these Karains, there's very little that I can do to act tough. What? What could you possibly want? I throw my salad bowl at him. It harmlessly bounces off the wall. Maruk doesn't seem impressed. Don't you start with me. I cannot be bothered today. Throw your little tantrum if you want. I just had to delegate schedules for my entire team with extended marks because I will be busy pup-sitting you for the foreseeable future. I have to make sure that the fool doesn't get himself infected with some alien virus and infects the whole station. And I haven't been able to even sleep in my own damn quarters for almost a week because of this mess. As if that's an excuse to act like a jackass. At least apologize to him. He gets close to the glass and I try not to back up or show any fear. A low rumbling comes from his throat as the very edges of his canines show. Up this close, though, all of those teeth look deathly sharp. His show of intimidation is met as I take another step forward. I may be dwarfed by him, but I know I cannot show fear. His eyes flitter back and forth, trying to find if his tactics have found purchase. As they have not, he scowls and backs off. Pulling up his monitor, he flips through a few screens and stops on an unknown destination. We lock gazes one last time as his finger hovers over an invisible button. Unsure of what he is doing or threatening, I remain unfazed. After a few more painful seconds, he just swipes his screen away and goes to sit on the bench, towards the far edge, as to be almost just out of sight. Fine by me. I'm not in the mood to deal with him right now either. With nothing to do in my cell, I've taken to just rereading this book. It's not as interesting as the first or second time I've read it, but at least it's passing the time. Maruk has since returned to his post. Or rather, just the closer side of the bench. We've exchanged a few glances at each other, but nothing more. I don't think he's really upset or the wall would be down, but I'm still not particularly happy with him. How could he be so crass to the other members of the station? It doesn't sit right with me. If he was that rude to Doc or Tyr, I'm sure that he'd get in trouble. I hope he doesn't abuse his power. I can't worry about all of this right now. It's not good for me. Unfortunately, I have to just worry about myself right now. Though, what did he mean when he said if I'm let out of my cell? Surely once Doc and Maruk, well, mostly Doc, make sure that I am not a danger to the crew, they'll let me out. Unless there was some new development with the captain that I haven't heard of. Maybe my presence here has really caused such an issue that letting me freely, well, semi-freely at least, walk the halls is now out of the question. No, that can't be it. I do wonder, though, what it was like out there. I get the impression that I didn't get the full experience while I was running for my life. Yeah, I'll be okay, I shout, standing up and triumphantly announcing to my cell. I look over to Maruk, who is just giving me a curious side-eye. Fuck. Right. I'm not really alone. A bit embarrassed, I try to casually sit back down with my book. A short amount of time passes before I hear the door open. Heavy, plodding footsteps clue me into who might be visiting us. Hello, Maruk. Tucker. I hope you're both getting along. Murmured grumblings from both sides give Doc a good idea of how things are going. He doesn't look particularly surprised. In fact, he looks fairly tired himself. I know he's probably been working all day. I hope that he can get some rest. I make some room on the bench for him, as it seems like he's going to come in. To which he smiles. I can't stay long tonight. Sorry. I need to make sure that I get a few more tests running before I go to bed. But I can stay with you while you eat. If you don't mind. Oh. Well, of course, Meryl. I'm a bit bummed out that he can't stay longer, but I'm glad that he is here at all. Once the gate is open, he takes a seat next to me. Surprisingly close to me, in fact. I know he's been coming in here without fear of getting contaminated, but I still don't really understand why. Maybe as the head of medicine? He's just not worried about it. Or he's on some cocktails of antibiotics or something. I'm realizing I have no idea how medicine really works. I also don't really know what he is technically besides being an important doctor. Maybe he's immune somehow? Or maybe he's just getting a lot of checkups after he leaves. It's still nice to be this close to someone. Even just feels a bit warmer from his presence. Before my mind can wander any further, a bowl is placed in front of me. Another salad. I take it but look to Meryl, who seems to understand my disappointment. I'm sorry, Tucker. I haven't really had time to run many more allergy tests for you. I've been trying to prepare for your release and amongst other things, figure out if you are carrying any diseases and such. You understand? No? I do. But it still sucks just eating the same meal. Oh well. I noticed Doc has a small parcel with him as well. Oh, this? Heh. After dinner, I have a small gift for you. Noting that I smile and continue my dinner, Maruk walks up to the wall and keeps an eye on us. So, Doc, you got any news on the next few days for me? I feel like I'm being kept in the dark here. Just being told to change everyone's schedules with some shitty excuses and then told to report right back to either you or Chief himself. What's up? Yes, it has been complicated trying to manage everything. Especially since Professor Seno is busy trying to catch a wagging tail with all the data he has. Trying to what? Is that like a saying around here? That bad, huh? Anything you can tell me, or...? Officially, no. But... since I'm exhausted and need to complain about it to someone, it seems like it might all be... wrong. Wrong? How can data be wrong, Doc? I don't know. I'm not that good with quantum physics. I just know that there's been a lot of cursing coming from his office and he's taking up most of the station's processing power. I heard some computers were even malfunctioning today because of it. Well, I'll be sure to not bother him. Well, not more than I have to. Yes, I heard about what happened. You read my report? I always read your reports, Maruk, as well as Director Tyrann's. It's my job. Although, in truth, I didn't have to read everything as he showed up at my lab half alive, not but a few marks ago. Watching the security footage, I feel you both omitted a decent amount as well. I'm confused with how much power Merowyn actually has around here. He seems to be very important and has a lot of sway. Especially if he can just casually find security footage and incident reports. Maybe that's all just part of his job, though? His job as a doctor. You watched the footage? Yes. So you can see I was right then. Right? There is no right or wrong, Maruk. While the actions Director Tyrann took may have been questionable, I do feel that he meant well and did the best to take care of our guest here, who, may I remind you, is now top priority for both of us. I still think Chief should see it. You will do no such thing, Maruk. The Chief is overwhelmed as it is right now. I know you have. He takes an exceptionally long pause between words, as if trying to avoid a verbal landmine. It is very clear now that Maruk might just have it out for Rhoun. History with Director Tyran. But it's something that you are going to have to get over. Or at least deal with while we work together to take care of Tucker. I know it's hard to move past what happened, but if you need help, you can always just message. Fine. I'm fine. I get it. I'm sorry, Doc. I won't bother the chief. Half-lidded eyes inspecting Maruk with machine accuracy. Merowyn looks unconvinced, but lets it go as he clearly is exhausted. I'll hold you to... He has to stop mid-sentence to take a massive yawn. I manage a quick look at his teeth, which are a bit terrifying. They all are uniform and clean, but as sharp as you'd expect a canine's to be. Although it seems that they have some molars in the back. I didn't get a good look, but that would explain how they can tolerate vegetables and the like. He slumps over, almost knocking into me. Alright. I trust you, Maruk. You can handle this professionally. He's fine, by the way. Director Tyran was discharged with no issues. Oh, that's good to hear. I'm sure that he's still in shock, though. Turning to face Maruk, he looks almost sad, as if disappointed in himself. Or he's just upset that he can't harp on Rhoun anymore. Well, at least not while under the scrutiny of Marrow. After finishing my salad, I'm happy to find my next dish isn't a bowl of grains, but that broth again. Still steaming over and warm. Just cupping it in my hands for a while is nice. The warmth permeating my fingers. Oh, I forgot to mention. I am sorry, Tucker, but I could not get anything done about the temperature in here. Turns out that I'd have to change the temperature on the whole floor. For that, I'd have to give a valid reason. And I couldn't really do that without disclosing, well, you. I hope it's manageable. I believe that you'll be out of here soon. If it is still too cold. Let me know. I'm sure that I can try to figure something out. Oh damn, I guess that makes sense. He can probably only go over so many people's heads before they start asking questions. It's okay. Thank you though, Marrow. I put a hand on his massive shoulder and look up to him. He smiles softly. So, anyways, Doc, besides the Chief's data, is there any other news? Like this AI thing. It's gonna work, yeah? Are we just gonna hear him speak? Whatever it is that he's speaking, or... Once again, I am not entirely sure, to be honest. It seems like more of a translator, so maybe? I understand the concept of it, but I've never installed one myself. Professor Seno will explain it when we go to get them installed. Ugh. Installed. Right. Remind me to bring a magazine or something. That shit takes forever. I remember when I got... His eyes flick to me and he stops mid-sentence. I can only assume that he was lost in conversation and forgot that I can understand him. It takes a while is all. Yes, it is not a particularly expedited process. But I can assure you that it is efficient. I finish up my meal and put it on the tray. Marrow pushes it to the side and pulls out the parcel. You'd be surprised how hard it was to find these. I do hope that you can make some use of them. Thanks? The parcel doesn't seem very large, but it is soft. After opening it, I'm happily surprised to pull out a new shirt. The material feels soft and decently stretchy, and it has some symbol on it that I cannot identify. Finding something in your size did turn out to be quite the challenge as well. Technically, you are a kid's size. Really? No way. Really? That's embarrassing. At least Maruk thinks it's hilarious. Where'd you even find something that small, Doc? Lost and found. I think it was left over from some tour. I mean, look at what it says on the front. Meryl gently turns it so that Maruk can see the front of my new shirt. Upon reading it, he almost falls over laughing. Haha, Doc, no, that's too funny. You can't do that. I'm terrified that it says something really embarrassing myself now, so I turn to Marrow, who's already caught on. He scratches the back of his head and lets out a small laugh. It's nothing bad, I promise. Do you have interns where you come from? You have gotta be kidding me. Doc seems relieved that we can all have a decent laugh about it. Also, in the parcel is a new pair of shorts and some boxers. Boxers with a hole in them, where the tail would go. Makes sense, I guess. Unfortunately, that is all. No new socks or shoes. I guess I don't need new shoes, but I will need some new socks. Especially if the rest of this place is this cold. I think I need to get going. I have to make sure that everything is ready for Tucker to leave here. And that means some more tests tonight. He gets up from the bench, stretching and yawning once again. I also have to meet someone about fixing my lights. I think someone is coming by tonight. Anyways, I must be off. Good night, Tucker. I promise when you get out of here, we will have a real dinner. More than just this. Thank you. He turns to leave. I reach out to stop him, but only grasp the air as he passes. I don't even know why I did that. Maruk seems to have noticed me doing this, but doesn't ask. I couldn't answer anyways. Good night, Maruk. Get some rest. I'll message you tomorrow when everything is ready. So soon, huh? Yes, you know how it is here. Better to get this out of the way than slow down the other projects. Sounds about right. Get some rest, Doc. No promises. And the door closes. I'm left sitting alone, but at least with a new shirt. Bringing it up to my face to see if it smells like anything, I'm almost disappointed to find that it smells like clean laundry. Not even a hint of anything floral either. I'm kinda surprised that it doesn't smell like, well, dog. But it feels comfy, so I won't complain. This, however, doesn't change the fact that I desperately need a shower. I feel wretched. Splashing myself with water from the sink isn't a great solution either. As the lights dim in the room, I can tell that it's getting late. I'm excited for tomorrow, but I've barely had time to process what it really means. I might be able to talk to someone. I doubt that I'll be able to hold any kind of conversation so soon, but still, it's unbelievable. I shouldn't get worked up over it though. I need to go to sleep, and I don't want to be exhausted tomorrow. I have a bad tendency of staying up late when I'm excited and being exhausted the next day. Like when I had my first day at college. Oh. Yeah. I did do that then, huh? I rubbed my eyes to get rid of the water accumulating there. I was so excited to try and start something new. The water keeps coming. My first day at my first college. I think I missed my first class because I was so excited. It's a deluge. Sniff. All of that's just gone. In a heartbeat. Who cares how my life was going? It was mine. I could control it. And now this. Wah. Sniff, sniff. And sobbing. My head in my hands violently grabbing at my hair. I'm unable to hear the footsteps behind me. I know it wasn't much and I was struggling, but it was certain. It was real. This all feels like a joke. Where am I? How did I even get here? I don't even hear the door open. I can't hear the Karen crouching next to me, yelling my name. Sniff. A gentle paw on my shoulder draws my innermost ear. My bloodshot eyes burning as I strain to see what is beyond my veil of unfettered anger. As if shattered like glass, my fury dissipates as I see the face of Merowyn, a mask of horror upon his weathered muzzle, and I break down again. Marrow... Where am I? I cry. No longer in control of myself, I flop forwards, my nails clawing deeper as I fall. I cannot hear Merowyn, if he is talking at all, but I can tell that he is there. He gently pulls my arms away, causing me to snarl, but he remains, and pulled into a warm embrace. Though, in my haze, it is the last thing that I want. A paw holding me close, trapping me. Another patting my back. A horrid rhythm. He smells sickeningly sterile, and his uniform is rough and grating. I hate it all. I hate it all. Just let me go. Let me go. And yet, I haven't felt more at home in days. Marrow, Shh. Shh. He pulls me tighter, my Lilith form enveloped by his warm mass. I've stopped squirming. Just panicked shaking racks me now. I'm sorry I failed you. I had no idea you were so dreadfully unhappy. I know this is hard. I know you are struggling. I will try. I will make it easier for you. Tomorrow. My hands grope at his arms, in a vain attempt to break free perhaps, or just to find purchase anywhere. Small ticks surge through me as I twitch this way and that. Through it all, I am still in his arms. My eyes close, exhausted and tired of seeing the inside of the cell. Eventually, I drift off to the sound of my own heart, for I do not hear his. Day 4. And that's where I'm going to leave it for today. So, our little human finally had a break. Well, a breakdown, I guess. And a massive one at that. I guess the realization that he is not gonna go back home anytime soon, or at all, finally got to him. And that his family and everything he knows and loves is, just probably out of reach, I guess. Honestly, I kind of was expecting to see Maruk going into the cell and trying to comfort him, but I guess that doesn't make sense given the fact that he said that he won't go in. And yeah. Anyways, I guess it makes sense that Merowyn would be the one that, rushes in to comfort you, since he's the only one that apparently can go in without, repercussion, at least for now. I'm pretty sure he's probably on some, like the MC said, cocktail of antibiotics, or perhaps there's something going on in his immune system that helps him against other pathogens, in general, as part of his job. Also, poor Rhoun. I mean, he's just trying to help. It's not his fault that he can't really, control the wall thing, and the fact that he was told to, deliver food, and he's like, well, how can I do it? The wall is there. Oh, I know. I'll just, open the door myself. It didn't, click that he doesn't have authorization to actually do that. But I mean, it's not his fault. The poor baby. Don't be mean to him, Maruk. I mean, obviously, he shouldn't have done that, but still. My poor baby, Rhoun. Anyways, so yeah. What did you guys think of this chapter? Or day, I guess? It's kind of weird because this is gonna end up being part 4, I think? But it's day 3. So yeah. Anyways, so, write down in the comments what you think. And thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Roads Yet Traveled, you can find it over on itch, and you can find a direct link to it from the creator's Twitter page, which I will link down in the description. And since they do have a Patreon, I will link that down where you can get early access to builds of Roads Yet Travel, as well as whatever else they offer. And if you would like to support them, they do have a coffee where you can donate, and it could just be like a one-time thing. You don't have to do it month by month or anything like Patreon. You don't get early access, but it still means a lot to creators. I have a coffee too in case you want to donate to me. I'm just saying. Anyways, I guess that's it for now, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.